It's very difficult to prove psychological abuse of any kind, since it's a very subjective topic. What seems abusive to you may not seem abusive to other people. But people with narcissistic personality disorder, known as NPD, tend to exhibit distinct patterns of behavior. That's something that you can use if you need to prove narcissistic abuse to other people. It's important to realize that it may be difficult to prove narcissistic abuse if you need to. There are many situations, like custody battles for example, where you might need to prove that someone is a narcissist. That's why it's vital to understand the following tactics you can use to show a judge, jury, or other interested parties that a narcissist is abusing you or someone you love. Tell loving friends and family about the narcissistic abuse. You've probably heard stories of victims of other types of abuse being asked whether they told anyone about it at the time. Of course, there are several reasons why a victim of any kind of abuse might not want to tell people about it. You might be embarrassed that you let this happen. You didn't, but that's how many victims feel. Or you might have been isolated from family and friends, as many victims of narcissistic abuse are. Whatever the reasons you might have for not wanting to tell someone, it can really help you prove narcissistic abuse if you do. If you can find one close friend that you can tell about the abuse in real time, that can help your case. It's similar to contemporaneous notes as a form of proof. It's an important way to shore up your side of the story. If you really can't find anyone, you might even just video yourself talking about what's happening. Be sure to include specifics like dates, the context of the situation, and exactly what was said or done. This can go a long way toward helping you prove narcissistic abuse when you're ready to do so. A big plus, of course, is the emotional support you would get from those loving family and friends. Have people witness the narcissist's behavior. Aside from telling family and friends about the abuse you're suffering, it's helpful if any of them can witness the abuse. It can be difficult because narcissists will often behave well and can even be very charming in front of other people. When they get you alone, that's when their attitude changes dramatically. Still, if they are triggered, they can sometimes lose it in front of other people. If that happens, those people are witnesses on your behalf. Perhaps one of the best ways to arrange for witnesses to see their behavior is to have a friend come and stay with you for a week or two. It's very challenging for a narcissist to keep their cool for that length of time, particularly when they're used to not having to keep their behavior under control for that long. If you really need a witness to their abuse, you can attempt to trigger them. But be careful that you don't come off as looking like you're provoking them. That could garner sympathy on their behalf. Trigger the narcissist. Another thing you can do to prove narcissistic abuse is to trigger the narcissist in the setting where you need other people to see their behavior. As the nurturing coach points out, when they don't get what they need from you, they lash out. They can't help it. This is a great way to get other people to see their abusive tendencies. You probably know what you can do to trigger them. But one of the best ways is to simply refuse to give them what you know they're looking for. They might be trying to manipulate you into praising them, or into responding emotionally to what they have said or done. If you don't give them the response they're looking for, it can easily cause them to erupt in narcissistic rage, or begin devaluing you. All it takes is one episode of anger or criticism to show other people what the narcissist is really like. Additionally, once they have been triggered, they frequently find it difficult to wind down. They will often make matters worse by letting their rage flow. They believe they are absolutely right, and entitled to what they are saying or doing, so it's hard for them to stop. They can put the nail in their own coffin if you just give them enough rope to hang themselves. Expose any history of abuse. If you're being abused by a narcissist, you're probably not the first person who's experienced that with this individual. If possible, you might also find other people who have been abused by them. Perhaps a past romantic partner, or a coworker who left the company or moved to another department. If you can show that their abusive patterns have a more extensive history, that goes a long way toward proving your side of the story. Other people who can back up the claims of abuse you're making add weight to your argument. These people may agree to be witnesses on your behalf, or you may have your lawyer subpoena them. In either case, exposing a history of abuse on the part of the narcissist can benefit you enormously. Stay focused on presenting your evidence in a coherent manner. Another part of telling your side of the story is presenting a coherent story. Abuse victims often don't tell their stories in a logical manner. They might skip around when presenting the details, or even forget things. That's why it's important to organize your story in a manner that is logical and easily understood. If you don't present a coherent story, it can appear deceptive on your part. That's the last thing you need. If you have trouble with this, have someone help you organize the story in a way that will be compelling as well as easy to understand. Maybe your lawyer or a good friend can help, but it's imperative that you present your story in the best way possible so that whoever you need to prove the abuse to will find it compelling. You don't want your story to be rejected because it was not presented in the best way possible. Organize your materials, talk to friends to find out if what you're saying is understandable, and present the material in a calm, straightforward way. That will give you the best possibility of proving you're telling the truth. Show, don't tell. Many times, a narcissist will reveal themselves if you just let them talk long enough. They can't help but try to show people they are superior to other people. They feel entitled to what they have done, and if you let them run on long enough, that will come shining through. Whether in a deposition, at a trial, or simply in front of family and friends, encourage the narcissist to talk. Have your advocate ask questions in a way that will make the narcissist feel they have to demonstrate their superiority. Narcissists are compelled to show people how great they are. Even vulnerable narcissists will do this. If you question that in any way, they will step up and begin telling you just how great they are, and all the evidence that shows that to be true. When anyone you want to know the truth sees them behaving in such an arrogant way, they won't be able to deny they've got a problem. By just letting them talk, you're giving the narcissist the opportunity to prove your case for you. Present just the facts. It's also vital that you just stick to the facts when you're telling your side of the story. If you let yourself get emotional, or if you exaggerate, you'll look deceitful. You want to appear like the rational adult in the relationship. Stick to the facts, and the narcissist won't be able to catch you in a lie or claim that you're overly emotional. You know what has been happening to you, and if you simply present the facts of your case, you'll be more credible than if you try to exaggerate for effect. The narcissist will be claiming your version of reality is not true. They will try to gaslight the people you're attempting to prove the abuse to, as well as you and your advocate. They will insist you're overly sensitive or simply wrong about what happened. If you stick to the facts, however, and stay calm, you can prove your case. If you exaggerate, you will prove what the narcissist is saying, that you're not seeing reality as it truly is. Finally, it can be very difficult to prove narcissistic abuse that is only emotional in nature. People can't always see your emotional wounds. It is possible, however, if you stay calm, present contemporaneous details, and provide witnesses. The most important thing there is staying calm. Remember that the narcissist will try to trigger you using your emotional wounds. They know what hurts you, and they will not hesitate to use that to make you look unstable. To prepare for such confrontations, you need to get your emotional triggers under control. I have developed a 5-step roadmap to heal emotional triggers that can help you recognize and diffuse them so you can stay calm, cool, and collected. If you would like to receive a free copy of this handy guide, just click on the link below this video. I will send it directly to your inbox, and you can start healing today. It's an invaluable tool to have when you need to prove the narcissist is the abusive one, not you. Thanks for watching.